I set the last plate on the table and glanced up. Isla was busy pouring wine for her sister Alina, who sat across from me. The candlelight flickered against her face. She was quiet, too quiet, her eyes locked on me longer than they should have been. I cleared my throat. "So, Alina, how's work going? Last time we talked, you said your new manager was giving you trouble." Her gaze didn't break. "He still is, but I can handle it." Her tone was clipped, but her eyes spoke a different language. There was heat there, something pressing against her silence. Isla laughed lightly, missing it. "That's Alina for you. Always tougher than anyone thinks." She set the bottle down and brushed my arm casually before heading back to the kitchen. The second she left, Alina leaned forward. "Marcus?" I froze. The way she said my name was too deliberate, too heavy. "Yes." She hesitated, her lips parting, then pressed shut again. Her eyes burned with something unspoken. I tilted my head. "You okay?" Her fingers tapped against her glass. "Fine. Just tired." Her answer didn't convince me. Not when her hand trembled slightly on the table. Isla came back, smiling. "Dinner's ready." "Marcus, would you grab the salad?" I pushed back my chair, but as I passed Alina, her arm brushed mine. A spark shot through me. Accidental? It lingered too long to be nothing. In the kitchen, I gripped the counter, trying to steady myself. Why did it feel like she was trying to tell me something with a single touch? Back at the table, Isla chattered about her work project. I nodded when expected, but my attention kept slipping toward Alina. She barely touched her food, her eyes drifting to me again and again until I felt the weight of them on my skin. Finally, I asked, "You're awfully quiet tonight," Isla looked up from her plate. "She's always like that around family dinners." "Don't take it personally," Elena's jaw clenched. "That's not it." Her voice cut the air. Isla raised an eyebrow. "Then what is it?" Alina quickly shook her head. "Nothing. Just thinking." I forced a small smile, though my chest tightened. Whatever she was holding back, it was eating at her. After dinner, Isla excused herself to answer a call in the other room. Silence fell the moment she left. Alina gathered plates, and I stood to help. She turned suddenly, so close, I had to stop short. Our faces were inches apart. Her voice dropped. "Marcus, there's something you should know." My pulse jumped. "Then tell me." Her eyes flicked toward the hallway, where Isla's voice carried faintly. Elena's lips trembled. She shook her head and whispered, "Not tonight." I caught her wrist gently. "Alina, what's going on?" "You're scaring me." She looked down at my hand on her skin, then up at me with fire in her eyes. "You wouldn't believe me if I told you." I swallowed hard. "Try me." Her breath hitched, but before she could answer, Isla walked back in. Alina snatched her wrist away and smiled too quickly. "Just telling Marcus thanks for the meal." Isla narrowed her eyes. "You two okay?" "Fine," I said quickly, stepping back. But I wasn't fine. The energy between us wasn't fine. Something heavy pulsed beneath every word and every glance. Later, as we cleared the last of the dishes, Alina leaned close, her whisper a razor against my ear. "She isn't who you think she is." I froze, plates in my hands. "What do you mean?" Her face tightened. She stepped back, eyes darting to the doorway again. Forget I said anything. The sound of Isla humming from the living room filled the silence. I stared at Alina, my heart pounding. She avoided my eyes now, retreating into herself. When she left that night, she didn't hug me the way she used to. She held my gaze instead, steady and unflinching, like she was pleading without words. I closed the door behind her. Leaning against it, every nerve on fire, Isla walked up beside me. Slipping her arm around my waist, she seemed off tonight, maybe stressed from work. I forced a nod. "Yeah, maybe." But I knew better. Alina wasn't stressed. She was hiding something, and it was meant for me. Asterisk. I dropped onto the couch, remote in hand, pretending to care about the muted sports highlights flashing on the screen. Isla had just stepped into the kitchen to grab her laptop, leaving me alone in the living room. Seconds later, Alina walked in. She didn't take the armchair across from me like she usually did. She sank onto the couch right beside me. Her leg brushed mine. I stiffened. "Plenty of space over there," I muttered, nodding toward the armchair. Her lips curved slightly. "I like it here." The faint trace of her perfume drifted toward me. Sweet, sharp, intoxicating. I shifted in my seat, trying to mask the jolt that shot through me. "You're acting strange," I whispered. "Strange?" Her eyes glinted as she leaned just enough to close the gap between us. "I'm just sitting down. You're too close. Maybe you're too tense." She tilted her head, her shoulder brushing mine now. My jaw tightened. "Alina, what are you doing?" Her tone softened, almost teasing. "Talking to you." Before I could reply, Isla's voice called from the kitchen. "Marcus, where's the charger? Did you move it again?" I raised my voice, forcing steadiness. "Check the drawer by the fridge." Elena's hand rested briefly on my knee, so light it could have been imagined. My pulse hammered in my ears. "Alina," I hissed. "Stop." She pulled her hand back, but her smile lingered. "You're jumpy." "I didn't mean anything. Don't play games with me." Her eyes softened. "You think I'm playing?" The sound of Isla's footsteps pulled us apart instantly. Elena leaned back, slipping into perfect composure as Isla walked in with her laptop under her arm. Isla frowned. "What's going on in here?" "Nothing," I said quickly. Alina stretched, her tone casual. "Marcus was just telling me about that trip you two are planning. Sounds exciting?" Isla perked up. "I'm trying to convince him we should finally take a proper holiday, but he's impossible to pin down." I forced a chuckle. "Work's been busy, always busy," Isla teased. Settling on the armchair with her laptop, Alina leaned toward me again, whispering so softly only I could hear, "You look guilty." I shot her a sharp look. "And whose fault is that?" She held my gaze unflinching, before turning back to her sister with a bright, innocent smile. "You should book that trip. You both need it." The conversation shifted, Isla talking about flights and hotels while Alina played along. But beneath the words, tension buzzed like a live wire. Later, when Isla went upstairs to take a call, Alina spoke again, her voice low. "You felt it too, didn't you?" I gripped the remote tighter. "What are you talking about?" Her eyes searched mine. "This us. The way we're sitting here right now, there is no us," I snapped. "You're my wife's sister." Her lips parted, then closed. For a moment, her mask slipped, showing raw emotion underneath. "You think I don't know that? Then act like it." She laughed softly, but there was no humor in it. "You're fighting with yourself more than with me." I leaned closer, my voice cutting. If Isla ever thought anything was going on between us, it would destroy her. Elena's expression shifted. "So you do feel it." I shot up from the couch, pacing toward the window. "I feel trapped. That's what I feel." She stood too, her voice sharper now. "You're not trapped. You're blind. And you're lying to yourself." The sound of Isla coming back down the stairs snapped the air between us. Alina quickly sank back into the couch, legs tucked neatly under her like nothing had happened. Isla returned, smiling faintly. "Mum just called. She wants us to visit this weekend." "Both of you," Alina grinned. Of course, I forced myself to nod. Sure, but my chest was tight, my heartbeat refusing to settle. When the evening wound down, Isla went upstairs to shower. I stayed behind, picking up glasses from the table. Alina stood close again, her voice low. "You can lie to her, Marcus. You can lie to yourself. But you can't lie to me." I turned, glaring. "You're crossing a line." Her eyes glistened with something I couldn't name, then stopped me. For one dangerous second, the air between us charged, my body leaning instinctively closer. I pulled back just in time, setting the glasses down harder than I meant to. "Good night." "Alina," she stepped past me, brushing my arm once more. "Sweet dreams." That night, lying in bed beside Isla, I stared at the ceiling, wide awake. Every time I closed my eyes, I felt Elena's perfume in the air, her hand on my knee, her words digging into me. You can't lie to me. She was right. And that terrified me. Asterisk, the garden lights glowed faintly, and I stepped outside for air. The night was cool, quiet, almost too still. When I turned, Alina was already there, leaning against the wooden fence. She startled slightly when she saw me. Couldn't sleep either? Not with everything on my mind, I said, walking closer. Her eyes followed me. What's on your mind? You, watching me at dinner like you were trying to tell me something? She shook her head. But her lips parted as if the words were already there. You imagine too much? No, I don't. You keep looking at me like you're carrying a weight. What is it? Her gaze locked on mine, sharp and vulnerable at the same time. Marcus, don't push me. I stepped closer. Then stop hiding. Her voice dropped, almost trembling. I'm not hiding. I'm protecting. My chest tightened. Protecting who? Me or Isla? She bit her lip, her silence louder than any answer. I waited, heart pounding. Finally, she whispered, There's something about Isla you don't know. I froze. What are you talking about? Her shoulders stiffened. I shouldn't have said that, Elena. You can't start something like that and then back out. Tell me. She shook her head again, turning away. No. I promised myself I wouldn't. It's not my place. I caught her wrist gently, pulling her back to face me. You can't drop a bomb like that and expect me to walk away. What about Isla? What's going on? Her breath came faster, her hand trembling in mine. If I tell you, you'll hate me. And you'll hate her. And everything will fall apart. Maybe it already is, I said quietly. At least give me the truth. Her eyes shone, wet in the dim light. She leaned closer, her voice almost breaking. I can't betray her. My voice rose. So you'd rather let me live in the dark? I'd rather live with the guilt myself than watch you break. The space between us closed without warning. Her face was inches from mine. Her eyes begging me to understand what she couldn't say. Alina, I breathed. Whatever this is, it's tearing you up. She pulled her hand back and clasped it against her chest. And you think it isn't tearing you up too? You feel it. I see it every time you look at me. I swallowed hard. This isn't about us. This is about Isla. Tell me the truth. Her lips trembled again like the words were fighting to escape. Marcus, I swear I want to. But if I do, you'll never look at her the same way again. Then let me decide that. She shook her head violently. No, not yet. Footsteps creaked from the house, and we both turned sharply. Illa's voice carried faintly through the open door. Marcus, you out here? I stepped back instantly, my pulse racing. Yeah, just getting some air. Alina moved quickly, brushing past me to the far side of the garden, acting as if she had been looking at the flowers. Isla appeared at the door. You're both still awake? It's nearly midnight. I forced a smile. Couldn't sleep. Elena's voice was calm now. The night is too quiet. Hard to settle down. Isla tilted her head, suspicious for a beat, then shrugged. Come inside before you both catch a cold, as Isla turned back inside. I whispered, This conversation isn't over. Elena's eyes flicked to me, fire and fear burning in them at once. It has to be. For now, inside, Isla curled against me on the couch, flipping through her phone. I nodded when she spoke, but I wasn't listening. My mind was still outside in the garden. Elena's eyes locked on mine and her voice echoing in my head. There's something about Isla you don't know. I stared at the floor. Restless, while Isla leaned comfortably against me, unaware that her sister's words had split the night in two. I leaned against the garden railing, the night air cooled against my skin. Alina stood a step away, her eyes darting as if the shadows themselves were listening. Alina, I said, lowering my voice, you started something yesterday and then walked away. I need to know what you meant. Her hands fidgeted with the edge of her sweater. I shouldn't have said anything. You can't throw a line like that at me and expect me to forget. You said there's something about Isla. What is it? Her throat tightened as she swallowed. Marcus, please don't ask me. I can't do this to her. To her. You think keeping me in the dark isn't doing something to me? Her chest rose and fell too quickly, And when her eyes finally met mine, they shone with panic. If I tell you, everything changes. Everything. I stepped closer, close enough to smell the faint vanilla on her skin. It already has. Look at you. Look at me. We're standing out here like fugitives while my wife is inside. Whatever secret you're holding, it's eating both of us alive. Her lips trembled, her voice barely audible. You don't understand? Then make me understand. Her hand brushed mine, not deliberate, not an accident either. The touch jolted through me, too raw to ignore. She snatched her hand back, staring as if she had betrayed herself. Alina, I said again, firmer this time. Talk to me. Her face twisted with conflict. I can't betray her. She's my sister, and she's my wife. If there's something I need to know, hiding it from me is the bigger betrayal. She shook her head, tears glossing her eyes. You don't know what you're asking. Then tell me what I'm risking by not knowing. Her lips parted as if the words were ready to fall. Then footsteps scraped against the stone floor. The back door creaked open. Marcus. Ila's voice rang out, casual, unaware. You out here? Elena's entire body went rigid. She turned to stone, her gaze locked on mine, silently begging me not to speak. Yes, I called back, forcing my tone steady. Just getting some air. The door clicked shut, and Isla stepped into the garden, wrapping her arms against the chill. What are you two whispering about? Elena's voice cracked first. Nothing. I was just about to head in. She brushed past me quickly, her shoulder grazing mine like fire. Wait, Isla said, raising an eyebrow. Leaving so suddenly? I'm tired, Alina answered without turning. Long day, and then she was gone. Slipping inside with a speed that screamed escape, Isla tilted her head, eyes narrowing at me. What's going on? Nothing, I said, forcing a casual shrug. She seemed restless. She always seems restless around you, Illa muttered. Her suspicion sharp enough to cut. I stiffened. What does that mean? Her eyes lingered on me, then drifted back toward the house. Forget it. I didn't mean anything, but the seed had been planted. She walked back inside, leaving me rooted in the cold. Heat still burning where Elena's fingers had brushed mine. Later that night, the house was quiet. Ela had fallen asleep beside me, but my mind refused rest. I replayed every word, every glance, every half-confession Elena had let slip. I slipped out of bed and padded toward the kitchen for water. The dim glow from the fridge spilled across the floor. Marcus, I jumped at the sound of her voice. Elena was there, leaning against the counter, her hair loose. I swayed in the half-light. You scared me, I whispered. Why are you awake? Couldn't sleep. She twisted her fingers together. Neither could you, I guess. I stepped closer, heart pounding. You almost told me earlier. Don't stop now. Her eyes darted toward the hallway, then back to me. She could wake up. She won't. Elena shook her head, but her lips quivered like the secret itself was breaking her apart. If I tell you, she'll hate me. Maybe you will too. I moved closer, my voice steady but low. I won't hate you, but I can't live in this fog. Not when you keep looking at me like you want to say more. Her breath shivered out. You notice that? How could I not? You think I'm blind? Her chest rose sharply, her eyes searching mine for an anchor. Marcus, I don't know how much longer I can keep this inside. Then don't. I was close now, the kind of close that felt dangerous. Tell me. Her lips parted, and for a second I thought she would. Instead, she bit down hard, shaking her head. I can't. Not yet, Elena. My voice carried a weight I didn't mean to put there. Her eyes filled, pain cutting through her expression. Do you have any idea how hard this is for me? Yes, I said, softer now. I feel it too. Every time you're near me, that admission slipped out before I could stop it. The silence after it was deafening. Her breath caught, her face a mix of fear and something I didn't dare name. Marcus, you can't say that, but it's true. Her hand lifted slightly, almost as if to touch me, but she pulled it back. If Isla ever knew, She won't, I said quickly. Not if you trust me. Her lips quivered. I shouldn't be here, then why are you? She froze, unable to answer. The truth hung between us, hot and dangerous. More powerful than anything either of us had admitted. Then footsteps creaked from the hallway. We both snapped toward the sound, our breaths caught. Marcus? Hila's sleepy voice drifted closer. Are you in the kitchen? Elena's eyes went wide with terror. She backed away fast, whispering, Don't say anything, please. The moment shattered as Hila stepped into view, rubbing her eyes. What are you doing out here? Water, I said, holding up the glass in my hand. Hila frowned, then noticed the back door was slightly ajar. Was Elena here? I swallowed hard. She went to bed already. Hila studied me, suspicion flickering again. Then she yawned and waved it off. Come back to bed. It's late, I nodded, but my pulse thundered in my ears. When she left, I looked at the empty space where Elena had stood only seconds ago. The air still felt charged, my body still on fire. She was hiding something about Hila. But that wasn't the only dangerous truth between us anymore. Asterisk. The kitchen was dark except for the dim light above the sink. I had just finished locking the back door when I heard soft footsteps behind me. Marcus. I turned, startled. Elena stood there in a silk dress that shimmered faintly under the light. My chest tightened. It's late, I said, keeping my voice steady. I couldn't sleep. She crossed to the counter, her bare feet silent against the floor. Do you mind if I get some water? I reached for a glass, filling it at the sink. The silence pressed against us, heavy and charged. I handed it to her, but her fingers brushed mine. She didn't pull away, Elena, I said quietly, frozen in place. Her eyes held mine, wide and unblinking. I didn't mean to wake you. You didn't. Then why do you look like you've seen a ghost? Because I don't know what this is anymore, I admitted, my throat dry. Every time we're alone, it feels like we're standing on the edge of something we shouldn't cross. She took a sip and set the glass down slowly, her hand still resting near mine. Maybe we already have. Her words struck deep, and I couldn't move. What are you saying? I'm saying you feel it too. Her voice trembled, but her eyes never left mine. I pulled back slightly, struggling to breathe. This isn't right. You're Hila's sister. You're in my house, and yet here we are, she whispered. The air thickened. My body screamed to close the distance, but my mind clung to reason. If she knew, it would destroy her. It would destroy everything. Her hand slid closer across the counter until her fingers grazed mine again. Maybe she doesn't deserve everything she has. I snapped my head toward her. What does that mean? Her jaw tightened, regret flickering across her face. Nothing. Forget I said that. No. You can't keep dropping hints and expect me to ignore them. If there's something about Hila, I need to know. She shook her head quickly, retreating an inch. Not now. Not like this. Elena, her hand lingered against mine, the warmth of her skin burning through me. Tell me to stop, Marcus. If you don't, I can't promise I will. My breath caught. The house creaked above us, a reminder that Hila was only steps away. Guilt tore at me, but so did the pull I couldn't deny. Elena, I whispered. This can't happen. Her lips curved into the faintest pained smile. Then why aren't you moving your hand? I looked down, realizing my fingers had curled against hers. Not pushing away, but holding on. Footsteps thudded faintly from upstairs. Both our heads snapped up, panic rushing between us. That's Hila, I said. My chest pounding. Elena pulled her hand back instantly, stepping away as if burned. You should go. I grabbed the glass and shoved it in the sink, trying to erase the evidence. The footsteps faded, and the silence crashed back in. Elena stood by the door now, her back half turned. I shouldn't have come down here. You didn't do anything, I said.
Yes.
Though the words felt hollow, she faced me again, her eyes raw. We both know that's not true. Before I could answer, she slipped out of the kitchen, her dress brushing the doorway. Leaving me alone with a storm inside my chest, I went upstairs minutes later, forcing myself back into bed. Isla stirred but didn't wake. I stared at the ceiling, my hands still tingling where Alina had touched me. My mind raced. Every line had blurred, every boundary already cracked. I told myself it was only a moment, only a brush of skin, but the truth screamed louder. It wasn't an accident. It was a choice, and I had made it with her. The clock struck 10 when Isla finally walked through the front door. She barely looked at me. "You're late again?" I said carefully. She tossed her keys on the table. "Work ran long. Every night this week? Deadlines don't care about your feelings, Marcus." She moved past me toward the stairs. I followed her. "I'm not asking for much. Just a little of your time." Her hand lingered on the banister. "I'm tired. Can we not do this right now?" Her tone shut me out completely. I wanted to push, but the exhaustion in her eyes warned me off. She disappeared upstairs without another word. I stood there, fists clenched, wondering when she had stopped seeing me. The next morning, the silence at breakfast was unbearable. Isla scrolled through her phone while sipping coffee. I tried to break it. "Do you remember the last time we actually sat down together? Just us?" She didn't look up. "You're being dramatic." "I'm being ignored." Her chair scraped back suddenly. "I have a meeting. Don't wait for me tonight." And just like that, she was gone again, hours later. I found myself in the kitchen with Alina instead. She poured coffee into 2 mugs, her movements calm, measured. "She doesn't talk to you anymore, does she?" Alina asked softly. I looked at her. "You notice everything, don't you?" She slid a mug across the table. "Hard not to when she walks out every night and leaves you staring at the walls." I sat down, gripping the warm cup. "She says it's work. Always work. Do you believe her?" I swallowed. "I want to." Her eyes searched mine. "Marcus, if you knew the truth, you'd never look at her the same." My chest tightened. "There it is again. You keep saying things like that, and then you shut down. What truth are you talking about?" She leaned forward slightly, her voice low. "You think I want to be the one to break your heart? You're already breaking it by keeping me in the dark." Her hand hovered near mine on the table. "I'm trying to protect you." "From what? From my own wife?" She flinched. "Don't say it like that. Then give me something real." Her lips parted, but no sound came. She looked torn, caught between spilling everything and locking it away. Finally, she whispered, "She's not the woman you think she is." I leaned closer. "What does that mean?" "She isn't faithful to you, Marcus. Not in the way you believe." The words hit me like a strike to the chest. "Are you saying she's with someone else?" Alina pulled back, eyes clouded. I shouldn't have said that. My pulse thundered in my ears. "You can't just say it and walk away. She's my sister. Do you think this is easy for me? I think you're tearing me apart piece by piece." Her voice cracked. "And what do you think it's doing to me?" We stared at each other, the space between us charged, every second pulling me closer to her. "Alina," I said, my voice rough, "if you know something, I need the truth." She reached for my hand, trembling. "The truth would ruin you, and maybe that's what she deserves. But not you." The warmth of her fingers around mine sent a dangerous current through me. Before I could respond, the front door opened. Isla's voice called out, sharp and casual, "Marcus, Alina. Anyone home?" We dropped hands instantly. Alina pushed back her chair and moved to the sink, rinsing her cup as though nothing had happened. "In here," I answered, forcing calm. Isla stepped in, her expression unreadable. "Coffee smells good." Alina's back was to us. "Fresh pot. Help yourself." I watched Isla, searching for cracks in her face, any sign of guilt. But she smiled faintly and reached for a mug. "Everything all right?" she asked me. I nodded, though my chest was in flames. Fine, but it wasn't fine. It hadn't been fine for a long time, and Elena's words, her warning, echoed in my mind. "Leaving me restless and raw, she isn't faithful to you." If she was right, then everything I thought I knew about my marriage was already gone. Asterisk, the living room was buzzing with laughter. Illa's parents told a story about their trip to Scotland. while Illa herself poured wine, moving around the room with practiced ease. I tried to stay focused, but Alina sat across from me, her eyes never quite leaving mine. Her hand toyed with the stem of her glass, her lips parting like she wanted to say something. Ilsa's father asked, "Marcus, how's work treating you these days?" I forced a smile. "Busy keeps me on my toes." Before I could add more, Alina spoke suddenly. "Busy, yes, but not too busy to notice when things aren't." She stopped dead, her face flushing. Her eyes darted to mine, wide with panic. The room went quiet for a beat. Isla frowned. "When things aren't what, Alina?" Alina coughed, her hand trembling around her glass. "Not too busy to notice when things aren't balanced at home. He still manages to help Isla when she needs it." Everyone chuckled, the tension dissolving. I laughed along, pretending her words hadn't felt like the tip of a knife pressing into the truth. Illa gave a dismissive wave. "He tries, but work has him half dead most nights." The conversation shifted back to travel stories, but Elena's eyes stayed locked on mine, pleading silently. Later, after everyone had gone upstairs, I slipped into the hallway to clear my head. Alina appeared out of the shadows, her voice sharp with urgency. "You covered for me," she whispered. "You almost said too much," I replied, my pulse still racing. "What were you about to reveal?" Her hands twisted together. It came out before I could stop it, then stop holding back and tell me. Her eyes glistened. "Marcus, if you knew, it would change everything. Your marriage. This family. All of it." I stepped closer, my voice low. "I'm already halfway broken. What could possibly be worse than this silence?" She shook her head violently. "You think you want the truth, but once you hear it, you can't unhear it, Alina. Look at me." I took her wrist gently, forcing her to face me. "I need you to stop protecting her at my expense." Her voice trembled. "She's my sister. I shouldn't even be here talking to you like this, yet you are." Her breath came uneven, her body close enough that I could feel the heat radiating between us. "Because I can't stand watching you suffer. You deserve to know, Marcus, but telling you will destroy everything." "Destroy what?" I demanded. "My marriage? My trust? Or the illusion that Isla is the woman I thought she was?" Her hand found mine, squeezing with desperate force. "Please, don't push me tonight, Alina," I whispered, my chest aching. "I can't keep living like this. Every word you don't say is killing me." Her eyes darted toward the staircase, then back to mine. "If you really want the truth, then you'll have to choose. Do you want me to protect you from it? Or do you want me to burn it all down?" My voice shook. "I want you to stop holding me at the edge of the fire." Her grip on my hand tightened, lips trembling with words that never came. Then Isla's voice drifted faintly from upstairs. "Marcus, are you still downstairs?" He froze. Alina pulled her hand away, her face pale. I called back, forcing calm. "Just turning off the lights," Alina whispered urgently. "Go, before she sees us like this." I lingered, torn between going to my wife and demanding the truth from her sister. My heart thundered with fear, desire, and betrayal all at once. As I walked up the stairs, her last words echoed in my ears, twisting into my chest like a blade. "You deserve to know, but it will destroy everything." A faint sound pulled me from sleep. At first, I thought it was the wind against the windows. But then, I caught it Telena's voice, broken. Muffled through the guest room door, I slipped into the hallway, my bare feet quiet against the floor. The door was cracked just enough for me to hear. Her voice shook. "He can't ever know. If he finds out, it will ruin her." Silence followed, then another sharp sob. My chest tightened. "Alina," I whispered, pushing the door open. She jumped, the phone clattering onto the bed. Her eyes went wide, shimmering with tears. "You were listening?" she asked, her voice hoarse. "I couldn't sleep." "I heard you." "Who were you talking to?" Her hand hovered over the phone like she wanted to grab it but didn't. "It doesn't matter. It matters to me." "I heard what you said." "Who can't ever know? What will ruin her?" She stood, wiping her face with trembling fingers. "Marcus, go back to your room. I'm not going anywhere until you tell me. Her lips quivered. This is none of your business. I stepped closer. You made it my business the moment you dragged me into your secrets. I deserve to know what you're hiding. Her breath caught as she shook her head. You think you want the truth, but it will rip you apart. I'm already falling apart. Alina, watching you unravel in the middle of the night only makes it worse. Her shoulders dropped as though the weight was too heavy to hold. I can't do this with you here. I'll break, then break. Right here. With me? Her eyes burned into mine, her voice a whisper. If you knew, you would never look at her the same way again. I clenched my fists. Maybe I already don't. The silence pressed in until she picked up the phone, turning the screen away from me. You shouldn't have come out here. I grabbed her wrist gently. Tell me who you were calling. Her body stiffened. Someone who knows the truth. Someone who's trying to help me carry it. What truth, Alina? My voice cracked, my throat raw. You're killing me with half words. She pulled her wrist free, her eyes brimming again. If I tell you, she loses everything. Do you understand that? Her marriage, her family, her life. She already has me losing mine. Her lips parted, but nothing came. She looked at me like she wanted to speak, like she wanted to let it spill. Then she pressed her palm over her mouth and shook her head. I whispered, It's about Isla, isn't it? Her eyes darted away, tears spilling down her cheeks. That silence was louder than any answer. Alina, I pushed. What did she do? Her hands trembled. Please, don't make me choose between you and her. She's my sister. I can't betray her. You already are. Look at us. Look at this moment. She finally met my eyes, her face twisted with torment. I never meant for it to get this far. I never meant for you to see me like this. I stepped closer until I could feel her unsteady breath against my chest. But I do. I see you. And I can't stop. Her voice shook as she whispered, Don't say that. If you say that, I'll lose control, then lose it. For a second, she leaned in, her forehead almost brushing mine. Her tears slid down, warm against my skin. Her lips parted, trembling as though they might touch mine. But she pulled back with a gasp. We can't. Not like this, she said, her voice breaking. The door to the hallway creaked, and I heard Isla's sleepy voice from upstairs. Marcus, why are the lights still on? Alina staggered back, wiping her face quickly. Go, she whispered, panicked. I forced air into my lungs. This isn't over, her voice cracked. It has to be. I slipped out into the hallway, closing the door softly behind me, my chest burning. The echo of her words clung to me like smoke. He can't ever know. It will ruin her. As I climbed the stairs toward Isla's voice, one question gnawed at me. What if the secret wasn't about me at all? Asterisk. I cornered Alina in the kitchen after midnight. The clock ticked loudly, the hum of the fridge filling the silence between us. You can't keep doing this, I said, my voice low but sharp. I'm not sleeping. I'm not thinking straight. I need the truth. She gripped the counter, her knuckles white. Marcus, don't. Don't what? Don't demand honesty in my own house? Her chest rose and fell as though every breath hurt. If you push me, everything will fall apart. Then let it fall. I'm done walking blind while you cry in the dark. She shook her head, her hair brushing her cheeks. You think you want answers, but you don't. Not from me. I stepped closer. If you know something about Isla, I deserve to hear it. Stop protecting her and start being honest with me. Her lips trembled. Marcus, please. You don't understand what you're asking. Then make me understand. She closed her eyes, whispering, Your wife hasn't been honest with you. The sound of footsteps cut her off. We both froze. Marcus. Illa's voice carried through the doorway. Elena's face drained of color. She turned away from me, her back stiffed, her breath uneven. Isla stepped into the kitchen, her eyes narrowing at the sight of us standing too close. What's going on? I forced my voice steady. I was getting water at this hour. She asked, her gaze darting from me to Alina. Alina clutched her arms, refusing to meet Isla's eyes. I was just leaving. Leaving where? Isla asked, suspicion sharpening her tone. The guest room, Alina muttered. I couldn't sleep. Isla tilted her head, studying her sister. You've been restless a lot lately, Elena's throat worked as she swallowed. It doesn't matter, it does, Isla replied firmly. You're pale, you're jumpy, and now I find you whispering in my kitchen with my husband? What aren't you telling me? I cut in, my pulse racing. Isla, she wasn't feeling well. That's all. Her eyes flicked to me. You always defend her. Why? The air thickened. Alina shifted uncomfortably, her shoulders tense, her gaze fixed on the floor. Because she needs it, I said before I could stop myself. Illa's voice hardened. Needs it from you? I felt Elena's silent plea pressing against me, begging me not to say more. Elena's been under stress, I said carefully. We both know she carries more than she lets on. Isla folded her arms. Then why not talk to me? Why always you? Because you're never here? I snapped. Her eyes flared. Excuse me? You come home late, you barely look at me, you brush me off when I try to reach you. And now you're interrogating me for giving your sister 5 minutes of compassion? Isla's lips tightened. Compassion looks different when I walk in and the room goes silent. Alina finally spoke, her voice breaking. Stop. Don't do this. Isla turned to her. Then tell me why I should trust you right now. What were you about to say? Elena's mouth opened, then closed. She looked at me, desperation in her eyes. I stepped in. She doesn't owe you an explanation for every second of her life. Isla's stare locked on me. Why are you protecting her like this? The silence cut deeper than her words. My heart pounded against my ribs. Elena's eyes shimmered with guilt, her body trembling. Marcus, Isla said slowly, Are you keeping something from me? No, I said quickly, too quickly. Her head tilted again, her suspicion sharpening like a knife. Funny, you look guilty. I forced my breath steady. Because I'm tired of feeling like a stranger in my own home. You want to point fingers at me and Alina? Maybe you should ask yourself why she feels safer with me than with you. Alina gasped softly, her hand covering her mouth. Illa's face hardened. You're crossing a line. Maybe the line was crossed when you stopped being here, I shot back. Her glare burned. But underneath it, I saw the flicker of doubt, the crack in her certainty. She turned to Elena, her voice trembling now. What were you going to tell him? Elena's hands twisted together. Nothing. It was nothing. Illa's eyes narrowed. You expect me to believe that? I expect you to let it go, Alina whispered. Isla's gaze darted between us again. The silence stretched until it felt unbearable. Finally, she said, I don't know what's going on between you two, but I'll find out. She turned and walked out, her footsteps sharp against the floor. When the sound faded, I turned to Alina. Her face was pale, her breath shallow. She knows, I said. She suspects, Alina corrected, her voice shaking. That's worse. Suspicion is poison. It spreads until it kills everything, then stop hiding. Tell me what you were about to say, her eyes filled with tears. If I tell you, you'll never forgive her. Maybe I won't, I admitted, but I can't keep living in the dark. She gripped my hand suddenly, her palm cold and trembling. Please, Marcus, don't make me destroy my sister. I held her gaze, my heart thundering. Then tell me why it feels like you're destroying me instead. She let go as if burned, backing away with a shudder. Because I'm weak. And because you're the only one who sees it? The silence between us was thick with everything unsaid. I wanted to reach for her, to pull her close, to demand she spill the truth, but the image of Isla's eyes watching us burned in my head. Alina, I said finally, my voice breaking, this ends one of two ways. Either you tell me, or Isla finds out herself. And if that happens, none of us will survive it. Her tears slipped free. Then God help us all. I waited at the dining table while Isla slipped off her heels. It was past midnight again. You're late, I said, trying to keep my voice calm. She brushed me off with a smile that didn't reach her eyes. Deadlines. The firm's been relentless. You've said that 3 nights in a row? Because it's true, she answered quickly. Too quickly. I leaned back, studying her. Then why did I call your office tonight and get told you left hours earlier? Her hand froze on the back of the chair. You did what? I wanted to check if you'd eaten. The receptionist said you signed out before 9. She sat down, her tone clipped. I grabbed dinner with a client afterward. That's all? What client? Marcus, do we really need to dissect my every move? When my wife comes home after midnight? Yes, we do. Her eyes flashed irritation. You don't trust me, should I? For a moment, silence stretched, heavy and sharp. She looked away first. You're imagining things. The lie sat between us, thick and suffocating. Later that night, I found Alina waiting on the back porch, wrapped in a cardigan. Her face carried that same quiet ache I had started to recognize too well. She lied to you again, didn't she? She asked softly. I clenched my jaw. You heard? I didn't have to. I saw her walk in. I saw your face. Tell me what you know, I said, my voice low. Her eyes shimmered in the faint porch light. Marcus, if I tell you, you'll never forgive her. Then maybe I need to stop forgiving her for things. I don't understand. She shook her head. It's worse than you think. Then explain. Her hand gripped the railing, knuckles white. She isn't who you think she is. The words cut through me like ice. What does that mean? She's been building a life you know nothing about. My chest tightened. Another man! Alina bit her lip, refusing to answer. Alina, I pressed, look me in the eyes and tell me if it's that. Her voice shook. I can't. It isn't my secret to expose. I stepped closer, my voice breaking. But it's my life she's playing with. My marriage. My trust. Her eyes glossed with tears. I know. And it's killing me to watch you defend her while she stopped herself, shaking her head violently. While she what? I can't say it. I grabbed her wrist gently, desperate. Then why keep warning me? Why hint at a truth you refuse to give me? Her voice dropped to a whisper. Because I can't stand watching you suffer. I can't keep pretending your wife is the woman you think she is. The words lodged in my chest like stones. A door creaked inside. Isla's voice floated through the hall. Marcus, who are you talking to? I let go of Elena's wrist instantly. Both of us stepping back like guilty children caught in a storm. I'm outside, I called. Isla appeared in the doorway, her arms crossed. With Alina? She couldn't sleep, I said. Alina forced a weak smile. The night air helps. Ila's eyes narrowed. Funny how you two always seem to need each other at the strangest hours? My pulse thudded in my ears. You're overthinking. Am I? She shot back, her gaze flicking between us. Go to bed, Isla, I said firmly. We'll be in soon. She studied me for a long, burning moment before finally retreating inside. When she was gone, Alina exhaled shakily. She's starting to see it. See what? I asked, my voice still trembling. That we're too close, she whispered. I swallowed hard. Then stop holding pieces of the truth from me. If my marriage is already cracking, I deserve to know why. Her hand brushed mine, trembling. You'll hate me if I tell you. Try me. Tears slipped down her cheeks. No, you need to hear it from her. Then she'll never say it. Elena's gaze locked with mine, a war inside her eyes. One day soon, Marcus, the truth will find you. And when it does, nothing will ever be the same. The night air pressed down heavy, her words hanging like thunderclouds. My blood ran cold. My marriage was built on a lie, but I still didn't know which one. And the secret in Elena's silence felt more dangerous than anything Isla could confess. Asterisk. Slammed the door behind me, my chest heaving. Ela had left again without explanation, claiming another late meeting. Another excuse. Alina appeared from the living room, her expression soft, but edged with concern. Another fight? I nodded, rubbing my temples. She doesn't even try to make it believable anymore. I ask questions, she dodges them. I push, she lashes out. I feel like I'm talking to a stranger. She is becoming a stranger, Alina said quietly. I dropped onto the couch, my voice raw. What do I do with that? Pretend it's normal? Pretend she's still here with me when she checked out a long time ago? Alina sat beside me, closer than she should have. You can't carry this alone. You deserve more than scraps of her attention. I looked at her, searching her face. Why do you always sound like you know more than you're saying? Her eyes shimmered in the lamplight. Because I do. But it isn't my place. Maybe it is. You see her differently. You see me differently? Her hand brushed my arm, tentative but real. I see how much you've been hurting. The warmth of her touch shot through me like fire. And what do you feel when you see that? Her breath caught. That I want to protect you. That I want to give you the honesty she won't? I leaned forward, my voice lower. Then be honest now. Why does it feel like we're standing on a line we're both afraid to cross? Her chest rose sharply. Because if we cross it, nothing goes back to the way it was. Maybe nothing should, I said. The words slipping out before I could stop them. Her lips parted, trembling with unspoken thoughts. Marcus. The air thickened between us, every second stretching, pulling us closer without meaning to. I whispered, "Tell me to stop." She shook her head slowly. I can't. The next moment it happened. Her lips pressed against mine, soft but desperate. For a heartbeat, the world disappeared. The fight with Isla, the secrets, the dawdle of it drowned in that forbidden kiss. Then she pulled back, her eyes wide, her chest rising fast. We can't. This never happened. I stared at her, my pulse racing. But it did. Her voice trembled. If Isla ever knew. She already suspects us, I said, my voice heavy. The way she looks at us, the questions she throws. She feels the distance, but doesn't know where it's going. Elena's hands gripped her knees, like she was grounding herself. We have to bury this, Marcus. Pretend it never existed. Promise me. I couldn't look away from her lips, still warm with the memory. I don't know if I can. Her eyes burned with fear and longing. You have to. Because if you don't, we'll both drown in the fallout. I leaned forward, whispering, Then why do I feel like the damage is already done? Her silence was answer enough. The kiss had happened, and no matter how much we tried to erase it, it lived between us. I stood pacing. She's hiding something, Elena. She lies to me every night. And now I'm lying to her. Elena rose too, her voice sharp. Then make her confess. Don't drag me into this any deeper than I already am. You dragged yourself the moment you kissed me. Her eyes filled with tears. No, Marcus. We dragged each other. The house felt smaller, suffocating. Upstairs, the floor creaked, reminding us that Isla wasn't far away. Elena lowered her voice to a whisper. Swear to me this never leaves this room. I swallowed hard. I swear. But I also know I'll never forget it. She closed her eyes, as if bracing against the weight of what we'd done. Neither will I, we stood in silence, the space between us charged, fragile, dangerous. One kiss had changed everything, and there was no taking it back. I stared at Elena, her hands trembling against the edge of the table. Something inside her looked like it was about to break. Elena, I said carefully, what are you not telling me? She shook her head, her voice tight. You don't want to hear it. Yes, I do. I've been living in the dark long enough. Her eyes filled with tears. If I say it out loud, there's no undoing it. Then let it out, I pressed, my voice sharper than I intended. Stop protecting her. Stop protecting me. I need the truth. Her lips trembled as she whispered, Marcus, she isn't faithful. The words punched through me. What are you talking about? I saw her, Elena said, her voice cracking. I saw Isla with him. With who? My chest tightened, my pulse racing. She hesitated, then forced it out. Her boss? My body went cold. Her boss. Elena nodded, tears spilling now. I walked in on them. Not once. Not twice. Enough to know it isn't a mistake. I staggered back, gripping the chair for balance. You knew this whole time? She nodded again, sobbing. I couldn't tell you. I couldn't break you like that. You let me fight for her, I said, my voice rising. You watched me tear myself apart trying to fix us while she was sleeping with someone else. I wanted to protect you. You protected her, I snapped. No, she cried. I thought I was protecting you from falling apart. I shook my head, my fists clenched. Do you know what it feels like to question your own sanity every night? To wonder if the woman you love is lying through her teeth, only to be told by everyone else that you're paranoid? Her sobs grew harder. Yes, I know, because I watched it destroy you. Then why didn't you stop it? Why didn't you tell me? She took a step closer, her voice trembling. Because I didn't want to be the reason your marriage ended. I didn't want you to look at me as the one who ruined you. She ruined me, I said through clenched teeth. Not you. Her. Elena's voice dropped to a whisper. Marcus, the guilt has been eating me alive. Every time you defended her, every time you looked at her like she was still yours, I wanted to scream. I couldn't carry it anymore. I dragged my hands down my face, trying to breathe. So all those nights she came home late, all those excuses about meetings and deadlines, it was him? Yes, Elena said. It was always him. The room spun around me. I gripped the back of the chair harder, grounding myself. I trusted her with my whole life. She betrayed that trust, Elena said softly, and you let me keep loving her. I was wrong, she admitted. I see that now. I should have told you the first time I saw it. I was afraid. Afraid of what it would do to you. Afraid of what it would do to us. To us. I repeated, my eyes narrowing. Her silence gave me my answer. I stepped toward her, anger and hurt twisting inside me. Was that why you kissed me? Because part of you wanted me broken enough to need you? Her head shot up, eyes wide. No, Marcus. Don't twist it like that. I kissed you because I couldn't hold back anymore. Not because of her. Because of you? Then you should have told me the truth before it ever came to that, I said. My voice raw. She wiped her tears with shaking hands. You're right. I failed you. But you needed to know, and now you do. I paced, my thoughts colliding, breaking apart. So where does that leave us? I have a wife who's cheating, and a best friend who lied. Elena's voice was barely audible. It leaves us with nothing but the truth. I laughed bitterly. The truth is my marriage is over. Her eyes searched mine, desperate. Then let it be over. Don't keep fighting for a woman who already chose someone else. I slammed my fist against the wall, my voice breaking. You think it's that easy? To let go of years of my life? To accept that the person I built my future with destroyed it for someone she barely knows? Elena flinched but didn't look away. I know it's not easy, but it's the only way forward. I sank into the chair, my head in my hands. I don't even know who I am without her. You're the man she didn't deserve, Lena whispered. I looked up at her, her face streaked with tears, her body trembling. And what does that make you? The woman who knew and said nothing? Her voice cracked. It makes me a coward. But it also makes me someone who cares about you more than I should. The silence stretched between us, heavy and suffocating. The weight of her confession pressed on my chest, crushing me. I whispered, She was with him tonight, wasn't she? Elena nodded slowly. Yes, I felt my world collapse in on itself. Then everything is already gone. Elena reached for me, her hand stopping inches from mine. Not everything. Not if you let yourself see what's still here. I stared at her, torn between rage and longing, betrayal and need. My marriage was shattered, my trust destroyed. And yet her eyes pulled me in like gravity. I pushed her hand away, my voice trembling. I can't look at you right now. Her tears fell harder as she whispered. I understand. The room went silent, but the damage was already done. Isla's secret was out, and nothing would ever be the same again. Asterisk, I waited in the living room. The silence pressing on me like a weight. The door clicked open, and Isla walked in, smiling faintly until she saw my face. What's wrong? She asked, setting her bag down. Sit, I said, my voice tight. Her eyes narrowed. Why are you talking to me like that? Because I know, I said. She froze. Know what? I held her stare. About you and your boss? Her breath hitched. That's ridiculous. Don't lie to me, I snapped. I want the truth. Her voice sharpened. You're accusing me of something disgusting. Where is this even coming from? Alina told me, I said. Hila's eyes widened. She told you what exactly? That she saw you. With him. More than once. Color drained from her face. She's lying. She isn't, I said firmly. I see it now. Every late night, every excuse. It all adds up. Her lips parted, but no words came. She tried to compose herself. Marcus, you can't take her word over mine. I'm your wife. You were supposed to be, I said bitterly. But you broke that the second you let someone else touch you. Her voice cracked. Stop. You don't understand? Then explain it, I demanded. Explain how you could stand in front of me every day, kiss me goodnight, and still give yourself to him. Tears welled in her eyes. I didn't mean for it to happen. I laughed without humor. You didn't trip and fall into his arms, Isla. You made a choice. Again and again. Her tears spilled over. He made me feel seen. Do you know how long I felt invisible with you? I felt my chest tighten. Invisible? I gave you everything. I built our life around you. And somewhere in the middle of that, you stopped seeing me as a woman, she said, her voice breaking. I was just your wife, your partner, your safe place. But he looked at me like I was wanted, like I still mattered. My fists clenched. So instead of talking to me, you betrayed me. She sobbed. I'm sorry. I swear I'm sorry. Sorry doesn't erase the images stuck in my head, I said. Sorry doesn't give me back the nights I spent wondering why you pulled away. Her shoulders shook as she cried harder. It wasn't supposed to go this far, but it did, I said coldly. You crossed every line. Behind us I heard movement. Alina stood in the hallway, her face pale, guilt carved into her expression. Isla noticed her too. Her eyes blazed. You told him? Alina swallowed hard. He deserved to know. You had no right, Isla spat. You had no right to betray him. Alina fired back. I couldn't keep watching him drown while you lied. I raised a hand. Stop, both of you. But Isla stepped forward, her anger rising. You've always hated me, Alina. You were just waiting for a chance to destroy what I had. Alina's voice cracked. I wanted to protect him. He's been living a lie. Isla shook her head, glaring at me. And you believe her over me? Your own wife. My voice trembled, but I didn't back down. I believe what's right in front of me. You can't even deny it anymore, Islas. Sobs turned to desperation. Please, Marcus. Don't throw us away. We can fix this. I'll end it. I'll beg for your forgiveness. Just don't let this be the end. I stared at her, my heart splitting in two. You ended us the moment you let him touch you. What's left is only ashes. She reached for me, but I pulled back. Don't. Her hand fell to her side, her body trembling. I love you. Love. I said, choking on the word. If this is love, I don't want it. The silence between us was deafening. Alina finally whispered, Marcus. I looked at her, then back at Isla. My chest felt like it was caving in. Ila's voice turned into a plea. I'm begging you. Don't let her come between us. Don't throw away everything we've built. I shook my head slowly. You threw it away, Isla, not her. Not me, you. She collapsed onto the couch, sobbing uncontrollably. I turned toward the door, my voice low. I can't look at you right now. Her cries echoed through the room. Alina stayed still, her eyes locked on me, her face heavy with sorrow. I felt both women pulling me in different directions, one by guilt, the other by truth. And I realized I no longer knew which way was forward. I stood in the bedroom with an open suitcase on the bed. My hands shook as I folded shirts, not because I cared how neatly they went in, because this was the last time I would pack them here. The door creaked. Isla leaned against the frame, her eyes red, her voice raw. "You're really leaving?" "Yes," I said without looking up. "Marcus, please, don't do this." "You did this," I said, zipping up the side pocket. She stepped closer. "I made a mistake. I know I did. But doesn't everything we built matter? Doesn't our history mean something?" "Our history died the moment you chose him," I said. She clasped her hands together, desperation spilling from her. It was a weakness. I was lonely. I was stupid. But I never stopped loving you. Loving me? I snapped, finally meeting her eyes. "You don't betray someone you love." She flinched, then reached for my arm. "I'll do anything to fix this. Therapy, counseling, whatever it takes. Just don't walk out." I pulled away. "I can't fix what I don't believe in anymore." Her voice trembled. "So that's it? You're giving up on us?" "You gave up first," I said. "I'm just finishing what you started." Her knees buckled, and she sat on the edge of the bed, clutching the blanket. "You can't mean this. We're stronger than one mistake?" "One mistake?" My laugh was bitter. "Is that what you call it? One mistake you made over and over until you couldn't even keep your lies straight." She buried her face in her hands, sobbing. "I don't want to lose you. You already did," I whispered. Silence filled the room, thick and heavy. I picked up the suitcase and walked toward the door. Elena stood in the hallway, her arms wrapped around herself, eyes glistening. She didn't speak, but the weight in her gaze hit me harder than any words. Ela noticed her too. "Are you happy now?" She spat through her tears. "You got what you wanted. You ruined us." Elena shook her head slowly. "I never wanted this." "You told him?" Ela hissed. "You destroyed my marriage." "I didn't destroy anything," Elena said quietly. "You did that yourself." "I only told him the truth." Isla shot up from the bed. "You always hated me, and now you've proven it. Congratulations, Elena's." "Not the enemy here," I said firmly. "Stop blaming her for what you chose to do." Ila's eyes darted between us, her rage collapsing into despair. "Then what happens now? You leave me, and what? You run to her?" My chest tightened. "No, I'm not running to anyone. I'm walking away from this." Elena's lips parted, but she didn't speak. She just looked at me, and in that look, I saw the pain she carried for telling me, and the boundary she wouldn't cross. Ila's voice cracked. "So that's it? You're just gone?" "Yes," I said. I walked past them both, suitcase in hand. My footsteps echoed down the hallway like a drumbeat. At the door, I paused. Elena had followed silently, standing just a few feet away. I turned toward her. "Thank you." Her brow furrowed. "For what?" "For being honest, even when it broke me." Her eyes shimmered. "I wish the truth didn't hurt you. It had to," I said. "That's the thing about betrayal. It never stays buried." We stood there, no touch, no kiss, nothing but the ache of everything unsaid. Her voice was soft. "Take care of yourself." "You too," I said. I opened the door. The night air hit me like a release and a punishment all at once. Behind me, Ilda cried out my name, but I didn't turn back. Elena stayed silent, watching. As I stepped into the darkness, I realized karma had done its work. The lies had crumbled, the truth had burned, and now all that remained was the cost, and I was the one carrying it.